If you go on to say like USA Today, they've got a story about NYPD creates Asian hate criminal task force after spike in verbal physical attacks amid pandemic. And the picture they have is, and I'm not joking, this is from a sketch comedy bit where a white woman is like disgusted because this Asian guy coughs next to her in a gym. They couldn't find any instances of white people attacking Asians or being mean to Asians, so they got an image from a sketch comedy show. Toxic masculinity.
After defunding the police, New York City First Lady pleads for citizens to intervene in violent crimes as assault spike.
After defunding the police, New York First Lady, so this is de Blasio's wife, who's black, and she's always been a kind of a supporter, I think, of Black Lives Matter, that kind of stuff, from what I understand. I don't really know much about de Blasio's wife, if I'm honest. It says here, the wife of Mayor Bill de Blasio wants citizens to personally, physically intervene. And actually, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think citizens should personally intervene. I think if you see some crime being committed, tell the criminal to back off. And if he doesn't listen to you, knock him out. And if he's got a gun, shoot him. That's what I think. The wife of New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. But these are people who don't like the Second Amendment, want to take all your guns. But they're telling you to intervene if criminals are attacking somebody randomly in the street. Now you got to do your duty, do your duty, and be a vigilante. But you're not allowed to have guns. Let's see here. Physically intervened to stop violent crimes 9 months after she convinced her husband to get aboard the Defund the Police movement by redirecting money from police to youth initiatives and social services. And this is the other thing that's ridiculous about it. They want to defund the police, and then they want citizen policing. But like a lot of criminals have knives and guns and stuff, and the reason that we have police is because police have body armor, guns, tasers. They can stop criminals safely, more or less. Whereas a regular citizen is probably going to get shot if they try to intervene in a. That's why most people don't. I do, because I do not value my life, so I have intervened in a crime or two in my day. But yeah, it's a dangerous thing to do. Most people want to preserve their life, and they don't do that. But like, if you are going to do it, maybe carry a gun. Let's see here. Take a look at this. A 5-ounce solid silver Apollo 11 coin just like this could be yours for free. It's Silver Month over at Noble Gold. The new administration is finally here. Oh, joy. And one of their big things is, as you know, climate change. And renewables need solar panels, electric circuits, and lots of other gizmos that used, you guessed it, silver. With a projected $2 trillion investment, there's never been a better time to profit from the insanity in Washington, D.C. with your silver IRA. Visit the Noble Gold website today at noblegoldinvestments.com. Let's see here. Shootings in New York City doubled in 2020 and were up 75% last month compared to the year prior. Burglaries have also increased, and violent, unprovoked crimes against Asians have become endemic. As attacks on Asian American communities continue, we're asking New Yorkers to show up for their neighbors to intervene when witnessing hateful violence or harassment. I know that can be frightening when you aren't sure what to do or say, but you can learn, New York First, because that's all it takes. All it takes is standing up and saying something, and then the criminals just walk away. It's amazing. New York City's First Lady, oh gosh, I can't pronounce this, Charlene McCray, wrote on Twitter March 6th, "Fear is a normal feeling when stepping into confrontation or standing up to somebody with a gun. But being prepared can help." And by being prepared, I think she means concealed carry. I'm pretty sure that must be it, right? That must be what she means. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, clearly the First Lady of New York, oh gosh, Charlene McCray, is advising you all to go out and buy a gun. Everybody in New York. That's her tweet there. Now, but here's the funny thing about this. The people who are attacking these Asians are black men, are young black men. Almost all of them. Almost every single incident. There's one. So I try to look into this a little bit. If you go on to say like USA Today, they've got a story about NYPD creates Asian hate criminal task force after spike in verbal physical attacks amid pandemic. And the picture they have is, and I'm not joking, this is from a sketch comedy bit where a white woman is like disgusted because this Asian guy coughs next to her in a gym. But that's not the where they couldn't find any instances of white people attacking Asians or being mean to Asians. So they got an image from a sketch comedy show from, I think, YouTube or something like that. I have to look into it, but for all I could tell was this was a sketch comedy bit. They've got the image of the white girl and the Asian and her like looking at him like, what the heck? And that is their image that they've used to talk about this. That's the image they used for this story, because they couldn't find anything real of white people being racist against Asians, because it's all black people. It's all black. I doubt that.
Chris, can you say it more louder, because like 80% people lives in this building are black.
That's true. But I don't think Chirlane is aware of this. I don't think she understands what's happening. I don't think. So let's see here. I looked it up in one other area, and they're talking about San Francisco area in particular here. Black and Asian unity, attacks on elders spark reckoning with racism's roots. And so in this story, they're basically talking about how there's a new problem stemming from these Asian attacks, which is that Asians are becoming more racist against black people. And this whole story tries to lay out how, despite the fact that it's pretty much only black people attacking Asians, well, Asians, they shouldn't see it that way. They shouldn't conceive of the fact that it's black people, and they should have this like love and admiration and happiness towards black people, even though it's pretty much exclusively black people going and attacking Asians in this racist way. And if you read here, it says actually, let's see. I clicked on the link. They said that in this article somewhere, it's a really long article. Okay. It says, meanwhile, violence against Asians, I'll highlight this for you. Meanwhile, violence against Asians continues across the country. Some of the suspects, meanwhile, violence against learn to talk. Meanwhile, violence against Asians continues across the country. Some of the suspects have been black. Some of them have not. It's exhausting for Asian Americans to keep having to bear witness. It's exhausting for organizers, blah, 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 all this crap. But here's the thing. Some of them have not. But if you click on this link, it doesn't show you like statistics. It doesn't show you like any kind of I don't want to click on it because it'll actually take you to a video on Twitter of a guy pushing over this Asian woman. And he's a white guy. But it links you to this one incident of a white man pushing over an Asian woman, despite the fact that there's been dozens and dozens of black guys attacking Asians. But the one incident, if you click on it and you watch this guy push this Asian woman over, he's clearly like mental. He's clearly like a mental person. He's clearly got like a mental problem. And so they've picked the one incident where there's a white guy attacking an Asian and they've said, but some of the attacks have not been from black people. Okay, all but one. Don't shush me. Don't shush. Woman, I will beat you. I will beat you.
And let it go.
That will be taken out of context at some point, I'm sure. And I will now never win any kind of an election. But that's okay. I like my job. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the last story. Anyway, so the point is, let's just say, it's hilarious to me. What's funny?
Let's move on.
But no, I do want to say, it's hilarious to me that she wants people to intervene, which I think in general is a good idea. I think it's a good idea for ordinary citizens to intervene when they see a crime being committed. If they can, if it's a man, women probably shouldn't. I've seen women do it. They do a pretty good job too. But, and especially if you want to intervene in crimes, carry a gun. Please carry a gun. Get a gun. Go around the subways with your gun. You got to get all the permits and everything. Make it legal. And then if you see a crime being committed, be like, hey, gentlemen, stop that. And be as cheesy and superhero-like as possible. And if they don't stop that, whip out the gun. That's vigilante justice. You know, I'm not saying shoot them. I'm just saying let them know that you have the power to stop them. And then they will leave. They will leave. Or they'll try to shoot you, one of the two. But, you know, you got to be prepared to fight back. What?
Last story?
All right, fine. Let's move on to the next story. I like talking about these. This is some great stuff.
I
here.
know, but we are running out of time.
We're running out of time, and we're scaring the neighbors, apparently. According to Valeria, the neighbors are frightened. All right, moving on.
History professor fired for posing a racist question.
This is great. This is great. So this is not a racist question. I just want to be clear. There is nothing racist about this question at all. And I'm just going to cut right to the chase here because we don't have time. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.